So much for joining me for my top 10 most frequently used, most frequently repurchased products at Sephora. During the sale, I know it can be overwhelming to select wisely because there are so many exciting products on the market, so many things that maybe you had forgotten about. Sometimes that happens to me, and I get distracted by some of the things that I wasn't actually considering, and then I end up with products I'm not using. So these are 10 products that I have either multiples of, or things that I repurchase frequently, or things I use almost every day. So I definitely get my money's worth out of these, so I thought I'd point them out to you. A little bit different than my favorites videos that I've done in the past. I'll link some of those below. But this one is all about getting your money's worth. So starting with this one, it is quite an investment. I've talked about this, I think, during every sale. I have used it today, and I have these loose curls because I went in with almost dry hair. So actually it started out dry, added a little bit of moisture, and then used this. We have these really loose curls with some movement, which I really like. And this Dyson is something I wish I had invested in earlier. And the reason why I have long hair now is because I have this tool to help me style it. Typically in the past, once it has reached a certain length, there really isn't anything I can do with it with a brush and a hair dryer. But this one allows me to get a curl in it. And what I love the most about this is that when I dry my hair by air or air dry it, it can be a little wiry and a little bit frizzy. So when I go in with this, it smooths things out, gets those hairs all going in the same direction, gives it a little bit of body, and it really changes the overall look to have my hair done properly and done well. Compared to how I normally would wear it when it was long, I would just wear it in a bun because I didn't know what else to do with it. So now I'm able to grow my hair out, style it really easily, and you can get to these back pieces too, because usually when my hair is done as a stylist, it looks really great. But that's because my stylist can reach the back here, and I can't see that part of my hair when I style it with just a round brush and hair dryer. This allows me also to reach those areas in the back that I can't normally reach. So it really has come in so handy. It does such a lovely job. It doesn't damage my hair either. That's another thing that I worry about, is damaging my hair. I'm older now, I don't have as much hair anymore, so the hair that I have, I want to make sure that it stays healthy. So I rely on Dyson to really protect my hair, and it also makes it look shinier and healthier when I use this. So I have the long version, and just make sure, depending on your hair length, what size to get, but this is the longer barrel, and I needed it for my long hair. When I bought this, it actually wasn't that long. It was more like this length, and I didn't need the long barrel, but I realized if I grew my hair out, I would need it. So that's why I invested in this one. So this one has been something that I use almost daily. And for sure, if I have a really important occasion to go to or something where I need to be a little bit more pulled together, I will definitely use this. I also travel with this. That's how much I like this. I will put it in my carry-on and take it with me because there's no other device that can do this. Like if I use the hair dryer in the hotel room, it definitely wouldn't do the job that this does. So I still love this. Moving on to an item that I know that if you've been here once before, you've probably seen this, and you know how much I love it because it looks like this when I show it to you. That means that I really love this. I hardly ever hit pan on anything because I have so much makeup, so many lovely products. The best of the best are here. This is really compared to all of the luxury beauty they have, even the ones that are not included in the Sephora sale. So there are some brands that are not carried at Sephora. I have those brands too. This is the one that I pull for on camera daily. This one is such a skin flattering, skin beautifying kind of effect. It really makes the skin look healthy. There's just the slightest amount of glow. There's glow, but not too much glow. And it's really the loveliest shade for my skin tone. I have a bit of discoloration here in the front, and this helps to color correct a little bit as well. So if my concealing and my foundation hasn't done the best, not the best job, but the most complete job of addressing discoloration, because sometimes it's just easier some days than others, and sometimes it just doesn't go as planned. And so when I go in with this, it really helps to color correct that and make this more seamless. So when I do the Get Ready With Me, you'll see these dark spots and what I'm working with here. And the fact that it glows really just disperses that light really beautifully and distracts the eye a bit from those darker spots. So even if my makeup is more sheer, this can go in and do a really beautiful job of distracting the eye from those dark spots without adding a lot of texture. So if you have any dark spots like I do in the front, it's really easy for that makeup to get stacked up and look really heavy trying to conceal, especially in this area where I have pores. It's really easy to do that. So if I can use less makeup to get the same job done, and in this case, I can use less foundation, less concealer, and then go in with this and not have to build up so many layers to get that seamless look going. So this is really beautiful. I pair this with other blushes as well. I'll take down the intensity of other blushes with it. I'll use this and then put a pop of color with another blush. In fact, I have 3 blushes, well actually 2 different blushes, but 3 products on right now. And this is one of the ones that I use. This is an 09, oh sorry, this is Valentino 09. And this is what the new one looks like. So I did get a backup the last time. That's how much I love it, but it looks like a different shade. It's not. It is a really beautiful, and it also looks like it's too light to be seen on my skin tone, but it's not. It's really beautiful. For me to buy 2 of any kind of makeup product is a rare occasion. There's a new product that's new to Sephora as of, gosh, the last month or so, and this is a product I've been using for a while now. So I was really excited when they were launched at Sephora, because that way I think more people can access it. It's the Elemis line. So the Elemis Pro Collagen Cleansing Balm. If you're looking for a cleansing balm that's going to really emulsify that makeup and really gently remove it, this is very nice. This one does a really nice job of really breaking down that makeup and being gentle while you're doing that. And it just does such a lovely job. I double cleanse, and this is my first step. I always put this on, I massage it into my skin, break that makeup up, and then I rinse that off, and then I go in with another cleanser, a more liquid kind of cleanser. But if you're looking for something that's really going to break up makeup, especially if I'm doing something where the makeup needs to adhere for a longer amount of time, that can be more difficult to remove. This removes it, and also SPF. So I use pretty heavy duty SPF 50, mineral sunscreen, and that adheres really well to my skin, which I want with an SPF, but then removing it can be an issue. I've gone in with just liquid cleanser to try to remove that in the past, and it just doesn't remove it all. I'll go in with toner later, and I can still see there's some residue. This, as a first step to break all of that up, is really effective. So if you are looking for a cleansing balm, there's a reason why people talk about this all the time. It's really good. So Elemis Pro Collagen Cleansing Balm is now available at Sephora, and again, a daily staple for me. And speaking of skincare, I also use the New Face device. I love that they came out with another product that you can use with it, because the gel that I formerly used with it would leave a residue on my face, even though they said you could leave it on. I was finding that it was interacting with makeup. It wasn't absorbing into the skin. It was a bit of a hassle because I had to apply it, and then I had to remove it, and then I would go in with skincare. So it was too many steps. So I kind of took a break from that until I found this on their site. Wow, it's really worn away. I need to get a new one here. So this is a New Face Firming and Brightening Silk Creme. And it says here it's a microcurrent activator. So if you use a New Face device and you want something that does other things like firming and brightening, so I also use brightening products on my face to help with the discoloration. So if I can get firming and brightening, and it's also the microcurrent activator that you need to use with that New Face device, then that solves a lot of issues for me. So I use this one in the evening, and I'll use the New Face device, and then that is my brightening step as well, because in the morning and the evening I use a brightening product, and this is my evening brightening product. This one does not interfere with other skincare or makeup. So even though I don't use this in the morning, and the reason I don't use this in the morning is because I don't have enough time. So that's why I use this in the evening. It's a little bit more relaxing. I enjoy that evening routine. So if I did want to use this in the morning, however, it does work really well in the morning because it does not interfere with any of the steps I have after that with skincare, and it doesn't interfere with makeup application. So I really enjoy that I do not have to remove this before moving on. So if you do want to use this in the morning and you have time and you don't want to rinse it off, this is a really great one as well. I do want to mention this because this is not new. And again, if you've been here before, you've seen me use this all the time. I don't have just one. I don't have just 2, but I have 3 of them. That's how much I enjoy this brush for application for foundation. Now, originally, I believe this was supposed to be used as a final step polishing tool, so you could polish your powder and make sure that it doesn't look powdery, but you can also use this for foundation. And I think the reason that this works so well, and let us know if you have this and have been using it, is because it has 4 separate petals, and it's almost like 4 makeup brushes all together. So it's a very, very seamless, perfected application that works better than any foundation brush that I've tried. There are no streaks when you use this one. The trick with this one though is washing. I get so many questions about how to wash this, which is why I have, and I know some of you have at least 2 of them, because when one is drying, you can use the other one because it does take a while to dry this. I use a Beauty Blender soap, or actually Sephora has a similar soap that I use, and I use this with a mat that has texture on it to really get the residue out. I also don't wait too long, because if you wait too long, then the product gets really high up in those bristles there, but if it's lower, it's a little bit easier to clean. So I use the soap and the textured mat to clean this, and then when I let it dry, I dry it like this to get the excess moisture out, and then I will tilt it on the side when most of that moisture is dripped out so that it can dry like this. And it takes, depending on your climate, could take a couple of days. So just know the washing part of this and drying, it's a little bit of an effort, but it's worth it for the result if you want really flawless looking foundation. So that is why I have 3 of these. That's how much I enjoy these brushes. I still do. I do wish that they did make this though without the red dye. That's another question I have about this. Does the red dye transfer when you wash it? And I didn't experiment because of that question. And when I washed it, I tilted it upside down, and then I looked at it after it dried for several hours. And there were a couple of red dots, but that was it. It wasn't like it was running. But I did see a couple of residual red dots on there. But other than that, I haven't had any issues with any kind of red dye transferring or seeing it upon washing. But let us know if you have seen that with yours. I just have to mention this because this is something that I stock up on during the sale. And actually I thought I forgot the last time, but I had them tucked away, and I had a couple of packages here because these are still my favorite. And I've tried so many different kinds. I've tried the Clé de Peau ones that I believe actually have silk in them. I've tried Décolletés. Those are very nice. These are just a great soft cotton square. And this also is good for me for removing nail polish because I don't get those linty bits on there, so I'll use this as well. I do at least pick up a couple of these Shiseido cotton squares. I use them for toner, and they're just really soft on the skin. Out of all the things that I ever purchased at Sephora, I think I probably purchased more of these than anything else. There's only one hairspray that I like, and it's because of my hair type. My hair type is coarse, not too much hair. It can be wire and it's heavy. So each strand is heavy. And if I put other products in there, like cream products or gel products, any of those things will weigh it down, anything with weight. So I have to have really lightweight products. There are some volumizing things that work really well, but then I can just feel them. It's not my favorite feeling to have volumizing products in there. They work, but it takes a lot. I just want to keep hairs in place and to hold the shape. And I want the movement. Like, I really like this movement. I don't like my hair to not have that natural movement. And this is the only hairspray I've been using for the past several years at this point. It's the Oribe Superfine Hairspray. I know I will always go through this. And that's another thing about these products I'm talking about, is that I go all the way through these products until they're empty. And so I really feel satisfied, especially with all of the makeup that I try and all the products that I try. It's very satisfying to reach to the degree of empty. And that's how I know I really love something, is if I use it all the way up, because again, so many products that don't get used all the way up. These products do, and I also repurchase them. So I'm definitely a repeat customer with these products. But if you want something that is just super fine, lightweight, but does the job, then I would go with the Oribe Superfine Hairspray, especially if you have hair like mine that gets weighed down easily and is already heavy. Yeah, my hair can tend to be really flat too, so that way I don't get that flatness from the weight of hair products. And the fragrance on that is really lovely. So if you've never had the chance to smell an Oribe hair product, they are really lovely smelling. Okay, so then I have this. I think I use this in pretty much every video, and when I don't use it, it's because that means I misplaced it. And you can tell it needs to be washed here, but this is a Sephora Pro Concealer 71 brush. And this is the one specifically created for the under eye area. You can see the shape here. It is straight on this side, but then on this side, it's tapered. So that's the side that goes against thigh area here, and that's how I apply my under eye concealer. So actually, I think I might get another one here because I enjoy it that much, but that's how much I like this, because I think I talk about it in every video. And that's another theme here, is that the products I'm talking about today should be no surprise if you've been here before, because I use them all the time and I really feel like I get my money's worth. And I think that's where we are, at least that's where I am when it comes to what I want to purchase. I really want to focus on the products that I'm getting the most bang for my buck. And these are exactly those products. Then we've got here something I don't talk about as much, I don't think, but I love the Tower 28 mascara. My all-time favorite mascara is not carried at Sephora, but for the one that is carried at Sephora, this one is a really close second. This is the Tower 28 mascara. If you haven't tried it before, you get volume, you get length, and you get separation all at once, and it builds pretty quickly. And this one is lovely. So this one is in Drift by Tower 28. They have a black one also, but this is a brown. I have that on right now. Yeah, it's just such a pretty mascara if you were looking for one, and Tower 28 is a great company as well. And then maybe my second most repurchase product from Sephora is this, and you can see how much I love this. This is the Gucci brow pencil, and I love this because it's got that powdery finish to it. It's not shiny in any way. It is a really nice color match. It has a cool undertone. This shade, gosh, I can't even see. I think it's 04. Yeah, it's 04. And I've gone all the way down to this, and I think I have about 5 or 6 floating around here. This is the brow product that I travel with because A, it's easy to travel with, and B, it's such a quick application, and it does a really nice job. When I want a really quick brow, right undertone, and a brow product I can rely on, it's this Gucci brow pencil in 04. This may be the least interesting Sephora list that anyone's going to compile out there for the sale, but it is probably the most practical, simply because these get their use and they are things I just go back to over and over again. And like I said, I have so many products that I'm testing out all the time that can replace any of these at any time, but it hasn't happened. So these are tried and true products, and let us know if you have any of these. I'd love to know what your tried and true products are. What are the most practical products that you get from Sephora? Because now I think is the perfect time to pick those up because they are on sale, and why not get a savings on things that you know you're gonna use up anyway. And that is it for today's video, so please take care of each other, stay well if you enjoyed this video. If you learned something, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and I will see you next time.